the more and blah blah blah.
Right.
Just vague it up.
Coming up, this isn't Wall-E. It's a new delivery system on NAU's campus. Meet NAU's new Starship fleet. Plus, NAU has a new provost. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Kiara Brown.
And I'm Connor Sweetman. Thanks for tuning in.
After a week of spring break, many students and families are getting back into the swing of things today. Things were pretty quiet here on the campus of NAU last week, but small white robots could still be seen roving the sidewalks making deliveries.
That's right, Kiara. A couple of weeks ago, we showed viewers what they look like, but still hadn't gotten the official word from NAU about what they're doing here on campus. NAZ Today's Raina Steffen joins us now in the studio, and Raina, we know a little bit more about these, right?
That's right, Connor. You're definitely right about that. These little robots are actually self-driving delivery robots owned by Starship Technologies, and NAU is now the second campus in the U.S. to have them roaming around. The Starship robots are the newest rave on NAU's campus, and today was the first day you can order food yourself. I'm on NAU campus where right behind me a Starship delivery robot is coming to bring me my lunch.
Hello. Here's your delivery.
These robots take food from NAU Dining and deliver it anywhere on campus using an app called Starship Delivery.
I think the students will respond to the convenience of it. A lot of students cite the length of the lines in the union as a reason they don't eat a particular meal. And so if we can remove that barrier, then I think we serve our students better in that way.
Starship started in Europe and was integrated into George Mason University in Virginia earlier this year. Ryan Toohey, the Senior Vice President of Business Development at Starship Technologies, tells us that NAU is the best place to launch a second fleet, not only because of the sidewalk accessibility, but
also one where the students and faculty had a reputation for being innovators and embracing new technology. I remember when Sodexo first suggested this campus to me and I went online and saw that you host multiple robotics competitions on campus, I thought to myself, wow, we need to take Starship to NAU.
But if you're worried about your food not getting to you safely, don't worry. Starships have a safeguard in place to make sure you're the one getting your order.
These robots are locked. You can't open them unless you're the person who bought the order. So you go down with your phone or go out with your phone, meet the robot, and you'll have the ability to unlock the robot with your phone simply by tapping unlock.
These robots have special 360-degree sensors that allow them to travel around campus without being controlled by a human. And as long as things keep working right, they plan to become a regular part of student life.
It was a really great decision to come here and get this in before the end of the school year.
As of today, the Starship robots are only on NAU's North Campus, but they're expected to expand to South Campus later next week and possibly expand to delivering mail on campus, doing laundry, and they're even incorporating dining dollars in the near future. Raina Steffen, NAZ Today.
A Donny Park man is facing murder charges in the death of his wife. Detectives say 38-year-old Timothy Duran was arrested Thursday morning. Police responding to a domestic violence call at the couple's home found Duran's wife Cheryl suffering from apparent stab wounds. She later died at the scene. Police say Morgan fled the scene but was soon arrested on the I-17 south of Flagstaff. He faces first-degree homicide and aggravated assault charges. It's official, NAU has a new provost and vice president for academic affairs. NAU Professor Diane Stearns accepted President Rita Chang's offer after a national search was conducted. Stearns started at NAU in 1997 as a chemistry professor and is currently the intern dean for New College of Engineering, Informatics, and Applied Sciences. Stearns is the fourth provost in as many years at NAU after Jim Coleman left the post after 13 months and Dan Kane stepped down to rejoin the faculty after holding the post for 14 months. The post is currently held by intern Provost Brian Levin-Stankovich, who will assist with the transition.
The retrial for accused NAU shooter Stephen Jones has officially been rescheduled, this time for January 2020. This is the sixth delay in the case, the most recent setback coming after Jones brought on a new attorney to the case. Jones is charged with first-degree murder and 6 counts of aggravated assault in the 2015 shooting on NAU's campus that left 1 student dead and 3 others wounded. Jones has been living in Maricopa County with his family while awaiting retrial. And next week marks 2 years since the first trial began, and May 2nd will mark 2 years since the first trial ended in a hung jury. Well, after last-minute efforts to save it failed, the Navajo generating station is shutting down. Navajo lawmakers voted to end an effort to purchase the aging coal plant, which is scheduled to close at the end of this year. The Salt River Project, the plant's owner and majority operator, says that all of the employees will still have a job as long as they are willing to be placed in a new role. SRP and the other owners decided back in 2017 to close the plant, citing lower prices for natural gas.
Congress is giving the Indian Health Service $218 million to help improve conditions and access to medical care on reservations. The Navajo Nation was the largest recipient, getting more than $174 million for 3 outpatient facilities in Daikon and Bodaway Gap, Arizona, and Pueblo Pintado in New Mexico. The new facility at Pueblo Pintado got the biggest chunk, receiving more than $87 million.
The City of Flagstaff will be hosting an open house this Saturday to discuss the future of the Southside community. The goal is to gather ideas on how to preserve history, maintain the area's character, improve parking, and more. The open house is at the Murdoch Center and will begin with a short presentation, followed by an opportunity for public comment. The meeting begins at 10 a.m. on Saturday.
You might want to think twice before eating another slice of avocado toast for a while. That's because the Henry Avocado Corporation has voluntarily recalled its California-grown avocados in 6 states, including Arizona, because of potential listeria contamination. Although none of the grocery stores we spoke with in Flagstaff said that they had been affected by the recall, it's probably wise to check the labels on the avocados anyways. Recalled products will have a Bravocado sticker. No illnesses have been reported so far. The 6 states involved include Arizona, California, Florida, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. Although shoppers should be extra careful with avocados right now, it is generally good to inspect vegetables before buying and to wash them before eating. In today's Health Minute, CNN's Meredith Wood tells you just how dirty some of your favorite fruits and vegetables actually are.
Beware kale lovers. The leafy green has just joined an exclusive list that no vegetable wants to be on. Kale was named as one of the 12 fruits and vegetables with the most pesticide residues. For the last 15 years, the nonprofit, nonpartisan Environmental Working Group has ranked produce on pesticide contamination levels, specifically after that produce has been washed and peeled. This year's Dirty Dozen are strawberries, spinach, kale, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, and potatoes. In contrast, the produce with the least amount of pesticide residues make up the Clean 15. The top 3 on that list are avocados, sweet corn, and pineapples. Pesticides are any chemicals that are used to kill bugs, other plants, or rodents that harm produce. The rankings are based off of more than 40,000 fruit and vegetable samples tested by the Food and Drug Administration and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Coming up, the White House calls it a vindication, but Democrats say not so fast. The latest on the Mueller report. And more flights are being canceled after Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircrafts were grounded in the U.S.
Good evening, Brookheim student forecaster. Today was a beautiful day. Spring has finally sprung. Flagstaff was a high of 63, Sedona 73, Prescott 72, Payson 72, Page 68. One of the warmest we had since November. There's going to be warm tomorrow and some winds coming up with Lee.
Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac is on a march to glory. Save up to $10,250 on the Chevy Silverado. Or take advantage of 0% for 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. Save up to 21% off MSRP with your choice of a 2019 Chevy Cruze, Malibu, or Equinox with a total savings of up to $8,390.
Hi, this is Mark Harris, owner of Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. I guarantee to beat any dealer's price on the same make, model, year, and options or receive $500 cash. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac.
It's the 26th anniversary anniversary of the Flagstaff Home and Garden Show at the NAU Fieldhouse, March 29th through the 31st with free admission. See what's new in home improvement with the best prices all under one roof. See hundreds of displays, win a new Subaru Forester, and more. Get free antiques appraisals, tour a tiny home, and see new watercraft toys. Ride the free shuttle from the Sky Dome to win the vacation and participate in the cash grab. Don't miss the original Big Home Show.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back. Republicans say it's case closed. Democrats, however, aren't satisfied. The day after Attorney General Bill Barr submitted his summary of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report to lawmakers, both sides are getting ready for what comes next. CNN's Karen Kaifa reports on the new battle lines being drawn in Washington.
The day after Attorney General Bill Barr sent his summary of the Mueller report to Congress, both sides digging in for the next round of battles. The White House attacking Democrats.
I think Democrats and the liberal media should be absolutely embarrassed by their behavior over the last 2 years.
Democrats pushing for the full report.
We shouldn't be forced to guess. It's important we see the actual report and the supporting materials so we can make our own judgments.
Among Barr's top-line conclusions from Mueller's report, he wrote, the special counsel's investigation did not find that the Trump campaign or anyone associated with it conspired or coordinated with Russia in its efforts to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential election. But on whether the president obstructed justice, Barr's letter quotes Mueller as saying, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. Democrats are questioning how Barr and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein came to a decision not to prosecute the president on obstruction based on what they saw in Mueller's report. Republicans, meanwhile, praising the probe's conclusion.
There was so much hand-wringing and breathless reporting on a dictatorship and would rule of law prevail, and I think it has prevailed. The American system has prevailed.
Barr does intend to release more of Mueller's report, but said he needs to consult with Mueller about scrubbing items that can't be made public. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Boeing has been under fire following 2 fatal crashes within 5 months involving the 737 MAX 8 plane, including the March 10th Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed all 157 people on board. Now the aircraft manufacturer is testing new software patches to prevent future crashes. Meanwhile, some American carriers are warning that flights will continue to be canceled as the new software is tested. CNN's Omar Jimenez has the latest.
More than 370 planes remain grounded worldwide as Boeing now tests software changes for their 737 MAX 8 planes. The FAA grounded them indefinitely after 2 of the planes crashed, killing more than 300 people in total. Ethiopian Airlines is among the many anxious for answers.
They just happened in a span of 5 months, similar flight pattern. They both happened, the accident happened during takeoff, and there are a lot of similarities.
The causes of both of these crashes haven't been officially determined, but the focus has been on an automatic safety feature that may have incorrectly forced the nose of each plane to dip. Over the weekend, pilots and training officials from multiple airlines met with Boeing officials in Seattle to test these changes, according to a person briefed on the tests.
We'll have to wait and see the correction that is being worked out by Boeing, and we'll have to convince ourselves before we put these airplanes back to air.
As of Monday, Southwest is canceling flights 5 days out as a result of this grounding, while American is canceling about 90 flights a day through April 24th. In Washington, I'm Omar Jimenez.
King me.
This must be how Odell Beckham feels when he scores a game-winning touchdown.
Beckham scores! Giants touchdown!
This must be how Rico felt when he triple jumped Mr. Sanchez.
Pepsi. You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
All right, amazing how good 60 degrees feels. It's been several months since we've even been at 60 degrees in Flagstaff. Last 60-degree day here in town was last December 20th, when I think we were at 62 degrees. But today, our 63-degree day is the warmest we've been since, you got to go all the way back to November the 2nd when we were 64 degrees. So 4.5 months since we've been this warm. Spring fever in the air. We're 10 degrees above average. And, you know, without any 60s this whole calendar year, it's been a pretty cool winter for sure. We haven't really had any really warm spells around here. Early morning low this morning, still seasonably cold, 21 degrees. All right, the little graphic that Brooke just went over, wanted to just kind of skim over it one more time. Some high temperatures from elsewhere across the region. Sedona a little slower to warm up today at 73 degrees. No big deal. You've been 73 within the last couple of months. Prescott 72. This is the warmest you've been since late October. Same for you in Payson at 72 degrees. Page 68 degrees today. Don't worry, Sedona, Page, we got some more warmer days in the forecast for us. Okay, we switch it over to the satellite, and here we are situated in Arizona. Big area of low pressure spinning off California. The storm system will stay to our north and eventually move through the Great Basin. We're out ahead of it with high pressure building in, and tomorrow we're looking for a day at least as warm as today, if not several degrees warmer, particularly for some of the lower lying desert and valley locations like Sedona. It did not warm up. As we get into Wednesday, we're still warm, but later in the week, this whole area of low pressure kind of moves through the Great Basin, which is just to the north of us here in Arizona. And yeah, you guessed it when I start talking about that. Spring wind on the way, and that'll begin on Wednesday. Still mild temperatures. Thursday and Friday will gradually cool things down with continuation of wind going into a much cooler weekend as a dry cold front associated with this whole mess stays just barely moves through northern Arizona. So temperatures will start to cool for the latter half of the week. Another thing of note is some of these high clouds way down here out of the subtropics, kind of on a beeline towards Arizona tomorrow afternoon. I think we see them on the increase, and I think we see a partly to mostly cloudy Wednesday with all this just high cirrus cloud cover moving into the region. Okay, current look outside, sunny skies, and yeah, that's the warmest temperature we've talked about here in the 6 o'clock hour in many moons. 59 degrees outside right now, sunny skies, winds out of the southwest at 12 miles per hour. Not a cloud in the sky out there today. Okay, overnight tonight, clear and quiet, 27 degrees. Our forecast early morning low tomorrow. Another warm day in Flagstaff. I'm going right where we were today. I think today warmed up a little faster than what we thought, but we're going to be right around 63, 65 here in town with increasing cirrus clouds late in the day. Sunrise for our Tuesday, 6:22. Okay, here's that warm up. Sedona, I got you a bit warmer tomorrow at 78 degrees. Prescott, very similar today, 73. Payson, 74. Winslow, 78. Tuba City, 73. Some warming going on up here through the Little Colorado River Valley and some of these Yavapai County Valley locations. Okay, here's a look at the extended forecast for us here. Temperatures, as I mentioned, start to come down later in the week, still on the mild side into midweek. Breezy conditions set up Wednesday, and I have a little typo in there. I don't think Wednesday is down to 55. I think I only did my sky cover on that. Do not pay attention to these temperatures. I never. It's been a long spring break. But yeah, a little bit cooler as we get towards the weekend. Temperatures back down into the low 50s, into the 60s here through midweek.
Well, I'm not going to complain about those temperatures. I'll take them at face value.
Yeah, right.
Although I'm not excited about that wind. Like, I want 60 degrees,
At
no
least
wind.
that says just breezy. You know when I say, like, windy, that's a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Lee.
Okay, and what do you have for us in sports, Michaela?
Well, I have a lot to catch us up on. It's been a week, but I'll have more for you after the break.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Does your family need a break from the daily routine?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org and trade in the big screen for the big blue sky by visiting a local park or forest near you.
Hiking, picnicking, swimming, orienteering, climbing, admiring wildlife, or inhaling fresh air may result in heightened creativity, feelings of joy, harmony, satisfaction, and a euphoria that can only be explained as oneness with the natural world. Whoa.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Michaela Palladino. And if you can't tell, I got a little bit of sun while we were off last week. That's because I headed down to the Valley to check on the Diamondbacks as opening day is only 3 days away, and they will travel to LA to take on the Dodgers. The D-backs are finalizing their 2019 roster, and one player that has been in everyone's mouth is Christian Walker. Walker is a first baseman that people are hoping could fill the shoes of former D-backs first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. He is also known for being an explosive hitter and continues to improve.
Just trying to be as repeatable as possible, consistent. I want to be able to take the same swing up there every time, not have to think about it. For me, it's about consistency.
There was official news earlier today that Christian Walker has made the D-backs opening day roster, really proving that hard work does pay off. Coconino softball is coming off a little break as well and are playing their first game since March 9th against Bradshaw Mountain, which started earlier this afternoon. Unfortunately, we don't have the score for that game. When they headed into this matchup on a 3-game winning streak and are 2-0 in their section. Senior standout Caitlin Snowpeck is batting well above the national average at 533. The Panthers aren't the only local softball team that's dominating this year. Just across town, the 2A Spartans of Northland Prep Academy are flying under the radar. They have a solid record of 7-1 and are also undefeated in their section. They started the season hot on a 5-game winning streak, but fell to Kingman Academy on March 7th, but bounced back and haven't lost a game since. They too played earlier this afternoon in a rivalry game against Camp Verde. Let's cross on over to the hardwood. With NBA regular season starting to wrap up, it's no secret the Phoenix Suns will not be making the playoffs. They had another tough loss against the Sacramento Kings on Saturday with a final score of 112-103. Booker registered a double-double with 32 points and 10 assists. With only 8 games remaining, you start to think, what's the Suns' approach? Well, it should be just focusing on building and strengthening the chemistry on this team. We saw a little spark towards the end of the season, beating big team names like the Bucks and 3-time NBA champs, the Warriors, showing that this young group can keep up with the big guys. It'll be interesting when the draft season starts what moves this team will make. We are in the midst of madness. The NCAA tournament is in full swing with upsets already happening. Not even halfway through the second round of the tournament, the 17.2 million brackets submitted to ESPN are none perfect. Kansas State was the favorite headed into Saturday's matchup against Auburn. Tigers went on to outscore the Jayhawks 51-25, but this March Madness is so great. Kansas did not quit and showed up in the second half and gave us a game. Even though the Jayhawks did outscore the Tigers 50-38, it just wasn't enough. And Auburn defeated top team Kansas 89-75 and are headed to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 16 years, and only the 5th time in program history. Sweet 16 play will start on Thursday, and I'm sure some more upsets are ready to come.
Anything happens in March.
Exactly. That's why it's madness. I can't say madness enough. It's just crazy. Duke, I'm telling you, they're going to go down. #1 team.
Prediction, making it happen?
I'm making it happen. You can call me on it for sure.
I will.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll have another quick look at weather when we come back. Stay with us.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
There. Heard about the scarecrow who won an award? He was outstanding in his field. Staring contest!
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
All right, squared away these numbers here. We're warm into midweek. Breeziness begins midweek. High clouds set up Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. Much cooler, not that cool really, compared to what we're coming out of going into late week. But breeziness goes right on into the weekend.
Well, speaking of weather, here in the Northland, winter is slowly subsiding. But Old Man Winter is still messing with Texas. Look at this video from McKinney. Large hail destroyed the sunroof of this car as severe storms moved through North Texas. Some areas reported getting hail the size of golf balls. No injuries have been reported.
That'll do it for tonight. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.